KONDOSAN.
One day, on a beautiful summer day, Snow White sipped lemonade in the palace's garden to cool off from the heat.
Phew, it's hot. It's a scorching day today.
The princess thought of another way to cool off, since she didn't want to go inside on such a beautiful day.
I've got it!
She went inside the palace, and when she came out, she was wearing a swimsuit.
Pool day!
Snow White pranced her way to the swimming pool. Suddenly, someone she had never expected appeared before her. Hello, Snow White.
Hello, Snow Queen. Are you going to the pool too?
No, well, not exactly. I'm looking for a job.
A job?
Yeah, in the summertime I get bored because I can't make it snow. But if I find a job, my boredom will go away.
Okay. Good luck then.
Actually, I came to ask if you could help me.
Sure. But how?
I don't know. I can't think of anything I could do.
Let's think a little. Surely there's something you can do on the farm. Let's go see.
Snow White got dressed and set off with the Snow Queen. On their way to the farm, they saw small birds trying to cool off in a nearby pond.
What beautiful birds! Even the birds are bathing because the weather is so hot.
I can cool the water for them. The Snow Queen blew cold air.
Yikes!
The birds were frozen. I think that was too much.
Yes, it was too much.
I guess keeping the birds cool isn't the job for me.
Yeah, we should get you another job.
Snow White put the birds back in the pond and they continued on their way to the farm.
Hi there! What a nice surprise!
They met Dreamer Goat on the farm.
Hello, Dreamer. What are you doing?
I started taking sculpting lessons this summer. I sculpt in clay.
Ah, I make beautiful sculptures too.
Really?
Yes, I usually make ice sculptures.
Why don't you try making a clay sculpture too?
The Snow Queen and Dreamer started to sculpt together. They tried, they tried, they tried.
Wow! That's amazing, Dreamer.
Thank you, Snow White.
Snow Queen, your statue too. Well, very interesting.
I guess sculpting is not for me either, isn't it?
I think you should stick to ice sculptures. For now, sculpting in clay is not your thing.
But I have to wait until winter so I can sculpt in ice.
Come on, I'm sure we can find a better job for you.
How about the ice rink? Do you think they'd like it?
They might like it, but they will still prefer the pool or the beach.
What if I organise an event to make snowmen?
Don't snowmen melt? How about sandcastles?
You're right.
I've got it. You can always make it snow by throwing confetti at parties.
It can be fun. Let's try it.
Come on, throw some confetti now.
The Snow Queen waved her hand. A beautiful cloud appeared above Snow White, and beautiful snowflake shapes fell.
Oh no, that didn't work either.
The weather was so hot that the snow melted even before it fell, turning to rain instead. That didn't work either.
Unfortunately. Come, let's have a drink over there. I'm sure we'll come up with something.
Snow White and the Snow Queen are sitting on the bench by the barn. Gazelle offered them a glass of milk.
The milk is warm. I wish it were a bit colder.
Let me cool it for you. The Snow Queen blew a puff of air and the milk froze.
Did you see this? That's genius.
Didn't that work?
No, this is great. Now we got you a job. The sweetest job in the world.
Cooling milk?
No, come.
Snow White and the Snow Queen set up a kiosk by the pool. They had milk and different types of fruit. I still don't understand what to do.
Now look. A little cherry to this, lemon to that.
Some peach, also apricots.
Let's add some cocoa to that too. It's ready now. Now you need to cool them.
The Snow Queen blew with all her might. The buckets froze in an instant.
Now we can start selling it. Ice cream! Ice cream! Many delicious flavours. Ice cream!
Snow White, you are amazing, my dear friend.
Ice cream! Ice cream! Ice cream!
Ice cream! The most delicious ice cream in the world! Homemade ice cream!
Snow Queen's ice cream!
One day, Snow White called out to Rapunzel as she stood below Rapunzel's tower.
Rapunzel! Rapunzel!
No matter how loud Snow White screamed, Rapunzel couldn't hear her.
Where is Rapunzel? Why isn't she responding?
Snow White looked around for something she could use. She searched in the bushes and behind the trees and found a rope.
Yes, with this rope, I can climb the tower.
Snow White swung the rope and hooked it.
Got it! That'll do it!
Snow White was finally able to climb the tower.
Rapunzel!
Oh, Snow White? What are you doing here?
I called you from downstairs, but you didn't answer.
I'm sorry.
What's wrong? Are you sad?
Yes, a little.
Why?
I threw a party at my house today.
Oh, how nice! I would have loved to come.
I called you. I called everyone. But no one came.
No one came? Why?
I guess nobody wants to be friends with me.
I don't think so, but maybe they are busy.
They're not.
Maybe if we wait a little longer, they'll come.
They won't come.
Don't be sad, please.
I've been in this tower for so long that I don't know how to make friends.
You're thoughtful, kind, and witty. Everyone loves you very much.
But if they love me so much, how come they didn't come? Maybe if I knew how to befriend people.
You're a great friend. If you want, I can give you pointers on how to befriend people.
Really?
Sure. Let's go to the farm.
The two princesses made their way to the farm. They saw insects, butterflies and birds flying around on the road.
Come on,
Come on, what?
greet them.
But I don't know them.
Here's a chance to meet them.
You said so? Hello, butterflies. Hello, birds. Hello, insects.
Suddenly, birds, butterflies and insects started flying around Rapunzel.
Oh, wow. Aren't they lovely? I wish you a very nice day.
Let's continue.
But we were having so much fun.
Come on now.
Finally, the princesses arrived at the farm.
Oh, the elephant is crying.
Best not to disturb him at all.
No, he's our friend. We need to find out what his problem is.
It seems he wants to be left alone.
We'll leave him alone, but first, ask him what's wrong.
Hello, elephant.
Hello, Rapunzel.
What's wrong? Why are you so upset?
My ball got stuck up in the tree.
Is this why you're crying?
Don't say that, Rapunzel. That means he likes his ball a lot.
Yes, it's my favorite ball.
You see? He cares about it.
Then please let me help you.
How?
Rapunzel lassoed her hair and flung it upward around the ball. Then the ball fell as she pulled her hair.
Here's your ball. You don't have to be sad anymore.
Thank you, Rapunzel.
We're friends now, right?
Of course we're friends.
Did you hear that? We're friends.
Yes, let's move on.
Hello, athlete.
Hello, Princess. You came at the right time. I was about to set a new record.
Come on, Rapunzel.
Come on, what?
Ask Athlete questions regarding her sport. Find out what makes her happy.
Which record are you trying to break, athlete?
My running record. My old record is 9.5 seconds. Now my target is 9 seconds.
I'm sure you can do it. We have faith in you.
Yeah, we trust you.
Thank you, my dear friends. Okay, you hold the stopwatch.
Athlete is on the starting line.
3,
2.
1.
Athlete sprinted and ran fast.
Come on, Athlete. You can do it.
Come on, go big.
Hooray!
Yippee!
You did it.
I did it!
Athlete hugged the princesses happily.
I'm so happy to share this moment with you, my dear friends.
Hey, what are we celebrating?
Athlete set a new record.
That's awesome, athlete.
Athlete, I have a question. Why didn't you come to my party? Was it because you were going to run?
What party?
I sent you an invitation because I was throwing a party at my house.
No, I never received an invitation.
Actually, you know, I didn't get one either.
Me neither.
How's that possible? I sent invitations to everyone.
Looks like there was a mix-up.
So you would have come then?
Of course we would have come. In fact, let's go now and celebrate my record.
We can also celebrate that I got my ball back.
We can celebrate what a great friend you are.
Together they all went to the tower. They stopped in their tracks and saw that Wolf was already celebrating inside.
Hello there.
Wolf, are those my imitations?
I thought if I didn't give it to anyone, we would have a party together and all foods will be mine.
Wolf, oh Wolf.
Well, don't eat all the cake and leave some for us too.
You glutton.
Cinderella and Pofu set out to pick some cherries at Cherry Hill, a place famous for its cherries.
It's Cherry Hill far?
We have to go through the misty woods first. But I'm sure you'll love the cherries.
I hope we don't get lost in this fog.
Stay close. Don't leave my side, okay?
You know what? They say the Orc Witch lives in this forest.
Is that so? I've never heard of her.
Yes, supposedly she's an evil witch who can magically disguise herself as anyone.
Don't believe everything you hear, dear Pofu.
Cinderella and Pofu crossed the misty woods and finally arrived at Cherry Hill. They filled their baskets with cherries.
Really yummy. I'm so glad we came here.
I think this is enough. We better head back before it gets dark. The fog seems denser this time.
As Cinderella and Pofu walked in the fog, the evil Orc Witch was watching them.
Who's this girl? She sounds so familiar. Oh yes, she's the princess at the palace. If I disguise myself as her, all the gold in the palace would be mine, and I could be the richest witch there is.
Cinderella, where are you? Oh no, I can't see her.
Cinderella was trying to find Pofu as she had also lost sight of her.
Pofu! Where are you, Pofu? I think I'm lost. What am I going to do now?
Suddenly, a peasant woman in a carriage appeared.
You seem to have lost your way. Get in the carriage. I'll get you out of the woods.
Thank you. But I need to find my bunny first.
Sure.
Hey, what's happening? What's up with the cage?
We're going on a short trip.
Let me go, you evil witch! Where are you taking me?
Eventually, Pofu made it out of the woods.
I hope Cinderella can find her way out. If she doesn't show up, I'll get help from the palace. Cinderella! Cinderella! Where are you?
The Orc Witch took Cinderella to her cave deep into the woods.
What do you want from me? Let me go!
Stop whining. Pretty soon you'll see what happens.
But how? You're me. How did you do that?
I will take your place, you ugly girl.
But why?
Because I will eliminate the prince and the kingdom will be mine.
No, you can't do that.
And who will stop me, huh? Keep an eye on the girl. We'll see each other again. Goodbye for now, Cinderella.
No sign of Cinderella. I'll have to let the palace know.
Just when Pofu was about to lose hope,
She's coming! Hooray! Cinderella, you've made it! I was so worried about you.
Get out of my way, you filthy rabbit.
What? Are you angry with me?
I can't deal with you right now. Just move. Shoo!
That's so odd. Cinderella would never treat me like that. I don't understand. What's going on? I hope it's not what I think it is. Oh no! It's not Cinderella who came to the palace. It's the shape-shifting witch. I must tell the prince right away. Oh wait! The prince went to a neighboring country. He's not at the palace. There's no time to lose. I have to save Cinderella. I need your help, my friend. You must know where the witch lives. Take me there, please. There's Cinderella. I need to find a way to get the keys to the cage from that ugly giant.
Pofu gave it some thought, came up with a great plan.
When that orc eats these, he'll fall asleep right away.
Meanwhile, the crow distracted the giant orc.
Pofu? Shh! Quiet! You can get out now, Cinderella.
We must get to the palace right away. The orc witch wants to hurt the prince.
In the meantime, the witch greeted the prince, who had returned from the neighbouring country.
My beloved prince, I cooked these for you.
They look great. Thank you, Cinderella.
Soon you'll fall into a long sleep, little prince. I also made this apple syrup for you. Come on, drink up.
My prince, don't drink that syrup.
But how could this be? How can there be two Cinderellas?
That Cinderella isn't real. She's the orc witch.
The orc witch? What's going on here?
She's an imposter, my prince. The bunny's also a liar.
Please, my prince, don't believe her. She wants to hurt you.
Okay, I guess there's one way to figure this out.
What's that, my beloved husband?
I want you to drink the syrup you've made for me.
But, well,
If you drink it, we'll find out who the real imposter is.
Of course, the witch couldn't drink the syrup that she spiked.
No, I won't drink it.
She's getting away. Let's get her.
Guards, seize her!
Let me go! Let me go!
While the evil witch was being imprisoned, the prince rewarded Pofu for her courage.
Thank you for being a hero, Pofu. We owe you.
Hooray! I have a huge carrot garden.
Cinderella loved antiques. One day, she and Pofu went to the antique shop in town.
an interesting shop. Don't you think so, Pofu?
There's so many artifacts.
An embroidered mother-of-pearl box caught Cinderella's eye.
What a lovely box. What a lovely voice, don't you think?
Yes, and she dances too.
That's perfect.
She stopped. I guess it's done.
It seems so. Let's put it back before we break it.
Just then, something unexpected happened.
Is someone crying?
It's coming from inside the box.
Oh, what's that?
Are you crying?
Yes, I am.
She's alive. And she can speak.
You seem like nice people. Please help me. Buy me.
Okay, very well then.
The antique dealer said the box was pretty valuable and asked for a lot of money.
That's okay. Here are 10 gold coins. I'm buying the box.
Cinderella bought the porcelain doll and they left the shop together.
I wonder who she is. Let's hear what she has to say.
Yes, I'm curious too. Come on, open it up.
Hello? Who are you? Why were you crying?
I'm the best singer in the Ice Kingdom. The Snow Queen locked me up in this box.
Ice Kingdom? The Snow Queen? Wow.
So the queen locked you up in the box? But why?
Because I was going to marry the Ice Kingdom prince, so this infuriated the Snow Queen. She turned him into an ice sculpture and locked me up inside a music box.
But why is the Snow Queen angry that you're getting married?
Because she wanted to marry the prince and become the queen of the Ice Kingdom and Snow Kingdom.
What an evil queen!
Well, there has to be a way to help you.
There is a way. If I sing to the frozen prince, the ice around him will melt. And once he holds this box, the spell cast on me will be broken. I begged and pleaded with her, but she never listened. Please reverse this spell, please.
Never! You'll keep on singing in foreign lands as a porcelain doll until someone accidentally drops you. Ha 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 ha!
Then she sold me to a peddler. I've been taken from kingdom to kingdom until I found myself in the antique shop.
Cinderella and Puffle felt really bad for the girl, so they decided to help her. They put on their winter clothes and set out for the Snow Queen's castle.
There's the Snow Queen's castle.
Let's get in, Pofu. Be careful.
Don't drop me, please. If I get broken, I can never become human again.
Don't worry, I'll carry you very carefully.
It's so cold here.
Let's stay alert. The Snow Queen might be close.
Look, there's a room here.
Poor animals. The witch froze them all.
The prince isn't here, though.
He might be upstairs.
Let's go up, Pofu.
Oh, I'm falling.
Don't worry, I got you.
Oh, thank you, Cinderella.
There's the prince.
Let's go get him.
Oh no, it's the Snow Queen.
Well, 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 look who's here. The intruders came to visit me. How dare you?
Leave us alone. Release the prince.
The porcelain girl's also here. So you came to save the prince. The Snow Queen was furious, so she cast a spell.
Pofu, the porcelain girl. You asked for this.
Come here. Here you are.
Let me go.
What should I do with you? Would you like to be added to my collection?
Hey you, Snow Queen! Leave my friend alone!
What is this? What's happening? I can't see.
You'll see in a minute. Take this.
Have a nice flight!
Quick, we must save the prince. It's your turn, porcelain girl.
The porcelain girl began to sing as they approached the prince.
Wow! The ice around him is melting! Once the prince was unfrozen, the porcelain girl was freed from the box.
The spell is broken.
Look, the animals are also free!
We can't thank you enough. You're really kind.
We should leave the castle before the Snow Queen wakes up. Come on!
As the Snow Queen was getting up, she realised that Cinderella and her friends were about to leave the castle. Don't run away! I'll destroy you all!
Hurry up! Run!
They managed to escape, leaving the Snow Queen behind in the castle. After Rapunzel got rid of the evil witch and married Prince Harry, she lived happily in the palace. But the witch was not about to give up after having lost Rapunzel to the prince.
I have to find a way to get Rapunzel back. She is mine.
So the witch finally came up with a plan.
It's done. Now it's time to give this tainted apple to Rapunzel.
The witch, disguised as a villager, made her way to the palace. It was not difficult for her to trick the guards at the gate and get in.
I picked the most delicious fruits from my garden for Princess Rapunzel. I would like to give them to her myself.
Rapunzel was walking in the palace gardens that day, admiring the colourful flowers around her.
What beautiful flowers you are! You smell so good too.
Good day, my dear princess.
Hello. Who are you?
I'm a poor villager who really admires you. I brought you these fruits from my garden.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you so much.
The witch took the contaminated apple from her basket and handed it to Rapunzel.
My fruits are very special. Taste it, my princess. You'll agree with me.
Is that so? Okay, let me taste it.
When Rapunzel ate the tainted apple, she fell asleep on the spot and suddenly became invisible.
Now I can get you out of the palace without being seen.
The witch took Rapunzel and left without anyone knowing. She took her far away to a house on a mountain where she chained her by her feet.
What happened? Where am I?
You'll be here for the rest of your life. You shouldn't have married Prince Harry. It's your own doing.
Oh no! You again! Please let me go.
Let you go again? Never. You belong to me.
Before the witch left the house every day, Rapunzel was forced to drink a potion that made her invisible.
Let's drink this. You'll remain invisible until I get back. This way, no one will be able to find you.
As she cried by the window, Rapunzel heard a song coming from outside.
I can see you, but your crying breaks my heart. Who are you, mysterious girl?
I'm Rapunzel. Who are you?
I'm Ladybug the singer. I sing while I play my guitar.
Help me, please. The witch has imprisoned me here.
Of course, but why I can't see you?
Because the witch forces me to drink a potion every day that turns me invisible, so nobody can see me.
But it's hard for me to help you if I can't see you.
I'm chained. The potion the witch gave me is on the table. Can you do something about that?
Well, this is easy.
The ladybug immediately entered the house.
Blackberries! This is great!
He made a mix with the blackberries and the potion and then poured the mixture into the bottle.
It's done. No more invisibility.
The next day, before the witch left the house, she forced her to drink the potion again.
Invisible princess, drink it.
The witch did not doubt that Rapunzel would become invisible, so she left the house.
Where are you, Ladybug? You're supposed to help me escape.
I'm here. I can see you now.
Thanks to you, I'm no longer invisible. But how do I get out of these chains?
I know where the witch put the key.
Really?
Yes, I will bring it to you.
The ladybug entered the house and climbed directly onto the kitchen counter.
Here it is. Hooray! It's done. You are free now.
Thank you so much. But where are we? How will I get back home?
Good question. I didn't think of that detail. Where do you live?
I live in the palace, in Prince Harry's country.
Oh, wow! That's really far. It's impossible for you to go there by yourself.
I must go back. Is there another way?
Actually, there is a way.
How?
Come, I'll show you.
The ladybug took Rapunzel to the barn behind the house.
Here, she's the only one who can take you home.
A unicorn! How beautiful!
the ladybug told her that the witch mistreated the unicorn and forced her to do heavy work.
This poor unicorn also wants to get free from the witch, but only you can untie the ropes.
The witch is so wicked. If you save me, I will be forever grateful.
Of course I'll help you. These ropes are so tight. Ugh.
Try using that axe over there.
Okay, you're free.
Come on, let's escape before the witch comes back. I will take you home.
But just then, the wicked witch showed up.
Hold it! Where do you guys think you're going? Ouch! Who did that? My head! I'll show you. You can't run from me.
She's getting closer. Let's go faster.
You can't run away! Wait! Wait! Wait!
After they managed to escape, Rapunzel thanked Ladybug for his help. She and the unicorn headed to the palace. Prince Harry was concerned about Rapunzel and was very happy to see her return to the palace. Rapunzel didn't want to let go of the unicorn.
Will you stay with me? I'll take good care of you.
You're a kind princess. Yes, I'll stay with you.
So the two good friends lived happily in the palace. Rapunzel and Hero had gone through the witch's magic mirror, which had shrunk them, and were now on the road to the witch's castle to reverse the spell.
We're so tiny. We can't get to the witch's house this way.
Look! A wagon is coming!
He looks like a lumberjack. I wish we could get on that wagon.
Let's call out. Maybe he'll give us a ride.
Yes, but we don't know this lumberjack. He might be a bad person.
Why do you think that way?
Broker sold us to a collector. Did you already forget? We can't trust anyone being this size.
You're right. Being this size attracts everyone's attention.
Hide, don't let him see us.
Well, he's gone. I'm so tired of flying. Maybe we should walk.
Rapunzel and Hero set off again. They had walked for a while when they suddenly saw...
Look, it's the lumberjack we saw earlier. He's taking a break.
I guess there's something wrong with his horse's foot.
A thorn is pricking the horse's foot.
Do you think this is our chance?
I think so, Hero. I think our luck has finally turned around. Come on.
Rapunzel and Hero snuck onto the wagon.
There we go. Now we can travel comfortably.
The thorn is finally out. Off we go. Old friend, giddy up.
After riding for a long time, the lumberjack stopped.
I wonder why we stopped.
I think he's going to chop some wood.
This log is pretty big.
We should be close to the witch's house. I think we can walk from here.
Let's go then.
Hero, jump, quick!
What fell?
Oh no! Rapunzel couldn't get off!
All right, old friend, we are getting closer to the town. We need to take a left here.
The witch's house is on the right. I have to do something. The wagon is going away. Think, Hero, think. I need to find a way.
Hero started running, but her tiny self couldn't catch up with the wagon, so she took off flying, but was still too slow for the wagon. As she was still flying after the wagon, Hero came across a swan and thought of something.
Hello, friend. Could you help me? My friend is on the back of the wagon and I can't catch up with them. Please give me a lift.
The swan agreed to help Hero. They flew fast and finally caught up with the wagon.
Thanks so much for your help. I've got this from here.
My ear! What is this? What stung my ear?
Rapunzel, where are you?
Hero, I'm here. In the box.
Come on, let's get out of here before the lumberjack comes.
As the lumberjack was getting up, he saw Rapunzel and Hero running away.
What are those? A unicorn and a Thumbelina? Help! Run for your lives!
He saw us. He's coming. Run, Hero.
Wait, don't run away. The lumberjack is going in the other direction. He even left his wagon here.
Wait, Hero. The swan is calling out to us.
This is so funny. We are running away from him and he from us.
Look, he left his wagon here. Perhaps the horse could take us to the witch's house.
I'll talk to him. Don't worry. All right, he agreed. Come on, safe travels.
Thanks, Swan.
Thanks,
horse.
Rapunzel and Hero got on the wagon and continued their journey. Finally, they made it to the witch's castle.
Well, that was a bit difficult, but we made it.
We have to find the magic mirror before the witch sees us. I think it's not on this level.
Let's try upstairs. It might be there.
I hope we can find it. I don't want to be a tiny pony forever.
There it is. We found it.
Yes, come on, let's pass through it.
As Rapunzel and Hero rushed towards the mirror, a puff of smoke appeared before them, and the witch came out of it.
Look who we have here. So you want to pass through the magic mirror and return to your old size, huh?
Oh no, the witch!
Get out of our way. You can't stop us.
You dare challenge me even as tiny as you are. Now you'll see what I mean.
Hero, run!
Don't run! Stop! Where are you?
That did it. I'm back to my normal size. Your evil ends here. Take that!
Get that thing out of my head!
Hero, go through the mirror. Quick!
You'll regret this. I'm going to destroy you.
Hello there! Take that!
You're great, Hero. My hero.
Oh, what a cute witch. So small.
The witch, who had shrunk in size, was in shock.
What? How could this happen?
I think think it's best for everyone that you stay this way until you come to your senses.
No! No!
So, how come the cube didn't go through the mirror?
The witch said that only living beings could go through the mirror.
Once upon a time, in the deep sea, there was an underwater kingdom. The king watched over the kingdom along with his 6 beautiful daughters and his elderly mother. All the sea creatures lived peacefully and happily together. All 6 daughters of the king were beautiful. But the most beautiful one was the Little Mermaid. She had long red hair and ocean blue eyes. Their father would gather them around his throne every night, and they would chat while sipping their seaweed tea. The king's greatest fear was that his girls would fall under the spell of the sun and choose to live above water. Because when a mermaid turned 18, she was allowed to swim to the surface and watch the world while enjoying the sun and the wind.
My dear girls, according to the rules of our sea kingdom, it is forbidden to talk to humans. Their lives aren't like ours. We belong to the sea, and they belong to the land and air. Don't ever go near them.
But Father, even if they're different from us, I'm really curious about humans and want to see them.
Of course, my little girl. You're almost 18. By listening to my word and without breaking the rules, one day you two will be able to go to the surface and watch the world while enjoying the sun and the wind.
The Little Mermaid's sisters would always tell her about everything they saw when they came back from the surface. You know what, little sis? There's a wonderful breeze up there. The sun is really warm. As huge ships pass by, we play with dolphins, and we sunbathe on the rocks without letting anyone see us. There was nothing the Little Mermaid could do but to daydream and wait for her 18th birthday.
I'm so excited, sis. I know I have to wait. In the meantime, I spend my time playing with Yum Yum and make pearl necklaces. Of course, for myself and you.
Yum Yum was a dolphin and was the Little Mermaid's best friend. At times, they would leave the palace to play tag at the bottom of the ocean.
Yum Yum can't catch me. If I hide, can't find me. Yum Yum can't catch me. If I hide, can't find me. Yum Yum can't catch me. If I hide, can't find me. Yum Yum can't catch me. If I hide, can't find me.
Yum Yum, come find me. Yum Yum, bet you can't find me.
Come here. Stop. Don't swim too fast. I'm going to catch you. Come here. Don't run. Don't run. I'm gonna catch you.
You need to swim faster. I don't get it. Are you a turtle or a dolphin?
Am I a mermaid? No one can swim as fast as you. Come on, let's have a swimming race. Why do I even bother when I know I'm going to lose? Silly me.
Don't say that, Yum Yum. Maybe you'll win one day. Never mind, let's race another time. Can you bring me back some more pearls? I want to make necklaces and bracelets for my sisters.
While waiting for Yum Yum on her oyster bed, the Little Mermaid's grandmother arrived.
Grandma, can I ask you something? Do humans look like us?
No, they don't, my dear granddaughter. Humans have legs. and they use them to walk on land. If they don't know how to swim, they can drown in the sea. We also live longer than they do, and we can also live on land. Don't forget, my dear, when the day comes and you go to the surface, make sure no one hears your voice. Because one of our most important features of our voice is that it's magical.
So, I won't be able to sing at the surface? What's the harm in it being magical?
Those who hear your voice won't be able to leave. Their ears won't hear anything but your voice. They will wait until they see you. Come on, it's very late, and that's enough information for now. Good night, my dear.
Finally, the big day had arrived. It was the Little Mermaid's 18th birthday.
Happy birthday!
Sis? The whole family took her amongst them, celebrating her birthday. The Little Mermaid was so excited. She was going to go to the surface and see the world. She hugged her father goodbye and started swimming with Yum Yum towards the surface. Her father was shouting after her in concern.
Don't forget everything I've told you. Yum Yum, look after my daughter.
Are you sure, Father? I will be looking after Yum Yum, because I'm faster than him.
Goodness, she didn't wait for me again.
Finally, the Little Mermaid reached the surface of the sea. She was now sitting on a rock in the middle of the sea and watching the world, and was admired of what she saw.
My goodness, the sky is so blue. The wind feels so wonderful. The seagulls are such beautiful creatures. Everything's so new to me. They're even more beautiful than my dreams.
Be careful, my princess. A ship is about to pass by. They're not supposed to see you.
What's that? It's so huge.
People can't swim in the water for long and can't breathe underwater. When they swim slowly. Even the fastest of them can't keep up with a ship. That's why people have been using ships since ancient times, both to travel and to carry loads.
And who's the one watching the sea in front of the ship?
I think this is a ship from the kingdom above, and that must be the prince of that kingdom. Be very careful. He's looking this way.
Suddenly, the Little Mermaid felt like singing. With her magical, wonderful voice, she started singing.
Princess, what are you doing? I hope the prince doesn't hear you singing. If not, he'll never leave until he finds us. Do you know that?
But the Little Mermaid couldn't help herself, and she kept on singing. She couldn't help herself from the prince's charm. The prince was also enthralled by the voice of the Little Mermaid.
What a wonderful voice. The girl who's singing must be just as beautiful. Point the ship towards the rocks. The voice is coming from over there.
But, my prince, it's very dangerous to sail the ship towards the rocks. It might hit the rocks and get damaged. The weather's also turning, and there might be a storm any minute now. Are you sure?
I need to find that girl. Do whatever it takes.
Yes, your majesty. Head towards the rocks. May God protect us.
The Little Mermaid hid behind the rocks. The prince didn't see her, but saw the pearl bracelet that she had dropped while escaping. He shouted out to his men.
Quick! Go on to land and bring me that pearl bracelet. She was a beautiful mermaid, I'm sure.
As he was looking at the pearl bracelet in his hands, Suddenly a terrible storm began. The sea blackened, thunder struck, and the huge waves caused the ship to hit the rocks and shatter. And the prince fell into the sea.
Yum Yum, the prince fell into the sea. Hurry, we need to save him.
The Little Mermaid and Yum Yum dived into the sea and saved the prince, taking him to the shore.
Please, open your eyes. I saved you. Please. Please.
As they waited for the prince to awake, he slowly opened his eyes. The first thing he saw was the Little Mermaid's beautiful ocean blue eyes.
You saved my life. Thank you.
Then he saw the pearl necklace around her neck and immediately realized that she was the mermaid on the rock that he heard the voice of and was enthralled by, and the owner of the pearl bracelet in his pocket. With joy,
What a wonderful miracle. I searched for you all over, and now I owe you my life.
right at that moment, soldiers running to the shore saw the prince and the Little Mermaid. The Little Mermaid quickly jumped back into the sea, and Yum Yum followed. The soldiers immediately took the prince to the palace and told the king everything that had happened. Every day, for hours, the prince watched the sea from his balcony, wondering if the Little Mermaid would come back again. The Little Mermaid, who returned underwater, was so unhappy that she stopped eating and drinking. She shared her secret with Yum Yum, her best friend.
Yum Yum, please go to the beach and bring me news from the prince.
The prince watches the sea from his balcony every day, and I think he's waiting for you to go to the shore. We must do something. But what?
The king was very furious when he saw his daughter like this, but was also very sad.
My dear, you have broken the rules of the sea. You were not supposed to get close to any humans. You should have listened to your elders. What's happened to you?
But Father, aren't you the one who said that we must act kind to all creatures? If we hadn't saved the prince, he would have died.
Yes, you are right. But, according to the laws, you shouldn't have approached anyone. You are grounded.
The king grounded the Little Mermaid, forbidding her to go to the surface. The Little Mermaid was very sad and couldn't stop thinking about the prince. One day, Yum Yum came to the Little Mermaid.
Well, I actually know an octopus, and he knows a witch who can make miracles. If you want, we can go and tell her about our problem, and maybe she's able to help us. What do you say, huh?
Then let's go right away. I was grounded for 1 month, and it ends today. I can go to the surface again.
They quickly swam together and went to the witch's cave. It was a dreadful place filled with snakes, scorpions, and spiders that could live underwater. The witch wasn't so different from them. She had an ugly face and a terrifying voice. She met them at the entrance of the cave.
I know you, Little Mermaid. Tell me, what do you want from me?
I should have 2 legs just like humans. I must go to the surface. I want to find the prince and walk and dance with him on the beach.
What you ask of me is very easy. I can give you 2 legs and 2 feet like humans, but you must give me something in return. Do you agree?
I agree. I'll give you whatever you want, as long as I can walk and dance with the prince on the beach.
Finally, the opportunity the witch had been waiting for had arrived at her doorstep. She had never liked her voice and always wanted to change it.
Since you've agreed, you must give me your voice in return.
Okay. Please give me 2 feet right away. I must go at once.
I'm going to give you a potion. You can drink it when you go to the surface. Your feet will grow right away. But this spell will be broken in 3 days. If the prince doesn't propose to you within 3 days, you will turn into a mermaid again. But we'll never have your voice again.
The Little Mermaid and Yum Yum grabbed the potion and went straight to the surface. The Little Mermaid drank the potion and suddenly she had 2 legs and 2 feet. And she started to wait for the prince to arrive. At that moment, the prince went out to the balcony. The minute he saw the red-haired girl, he ran to the beach.
Hi, I'm the prince of this country. You look like that mermaid I've been looking for. But you have feet. You can't be her. So who are you?
The poor mermaid opened her mouth to explain what had happened, but she had indeed lost her voice. She was so sad. The prince, seeing her in such a desperate state, felt sorry for her and took her to the palace.
How strange. Same blue eyes, same red hair, and the same pearl necklace. But you're not a mermaid and can't talk. To whom does this pearl bracelet belong?
Meanwhile, the prince's father had found a princess for the prince to marry and was pressuring him. The poor mermaid, frightened and sad, was waiting for the marriage proposal from the prince.
What if he never understands that I'm the mermaid he's been looking for? What if he never recognizes me? I'll be turned back into a mermaid again. A mermaid that can't talk or sing. My games with Yum Yum will also just be a dream.
The 3rd and last day of the spell had come. The little mermaid went to the beach and was crying as she watched the sea. But Yum Yum didn't wait around. He had already went underwater and told the king everything that had happened. In anger, the king along with his whale soldiers went straight to the witch's cave.
If you don't give my daughter's voice back immediately, I'll imprison you in a whale's stomach for the rest of your life.
But we had a deal.
As your king, I command you. Give my daughter her voice back immediately.
The witch, with fear, agreed and opened a glass bottle. And the little mermaid's voice was set free. Suddenly, the princess's magical, beautiful voice spread all throughout the sea. The little mermaid, who was crying on the beach, suddenly heard her own voice coming from the sea.
Oh my god! This is my voice! I can talk now.
Then she saw her whole family sitting on a rock, waving and blowing kisses at her. The little mermaid was now a girl with an amazing voice and with feet. The king called out to her from the rocks.
Love is sometimes more important than all the rules, my dear. Go run to the prince and introduce yourself and be happy from now on, as your family will often come here to see you.
The little mermaid ran to the palace excitedly. She told the prince everything. The prince, having found the mermaid he had been searching for, proposed to her right away and placed the pearl bracelet on her hand. prince and the Little Mermaid got married, and the Little Mermaid was now the princess of the land too. Every morning when the Little Mermaid woke up, she would call out to her family in the sea from the palace balcony and say thank you for everything and wave to them. The prince and Little Mermaid princess lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a faraway country, there lived two brothers, Alibaba and Kasim. Alibaba, a poor woodcutter, was a kind and honest man. Meanwhile, Kasim, the older brother, was a jealous and greedy man with an evil heart. One day, as Alibaba was cutting and collecting logs in the forest, he saw a large group of horsemen coming towards him. Trembling with fear, he climbed up a tree. Even his donkey got so frightened that the poor thing hid behind the bushes.
Good heavens! 1, 2, 3, 40 of them! I guess these are the infamous 40 thieves who steal gold and jewels from others. I had better stay up here until they are gone.
Alibaba curiously started to watch the 40 thieves. The leader of the thieves got off of his horse in front of a rock and shouted,
"Open sesame!"
With a loud crashing sound, a big rock that served as a door opened up and the men entered the cave.
I had better not climb down the tree, I'll just wait here. They all had saddlebags. They probably keep the stolen goods inside the cave. Oh God, help me.
Frightened and bewildered, Alibaba didn't move a muscle and remained silent. After a while, the huge rock reopened and the thieves came out.
Close sesame!
The thieves left, riding their horses again. Though Alibaba was afraid, he was extremely curious. He climbed down the tree, walked to the entrance of the cave, only after he was certain that the thieves were gone. He said the magic words.
Open sesame!
The cave's door opened with a rumbling sound.
Wow! It opened when I said the magic words too.
Alibaba entered the cave a little hesitant. It was dark inside. A narrow passage led to the depth of the cave. After walking for a few minutes, he reached an open space. This was where the thieves kept all their treasure. Alibaba was amazed by what he saw. He couldn't believe his eyes. All the gold, jewels, and coins the thieves had stolen were piled up. He was so astonished.
Gosh, this is where they keep the stolen goods. What a big treasure. God knows from where and whom they stole all this. Whatever, I'm taking a sack full of this and leave before the thieves come back. Open sesame!
He got on his donkey and rode back home. When he got home, he told his wife everything. She rejoiced immensely at their great fortune, but was also very nervous.
Ali, these gold coins are not ours. I think we should bury them. We'll figure out what to do with them later.
You're right, I guess, but I wonder how much gold we have here.
So do I. Should we count it?
Counting piece by piece is no good. Ask my brother Kasim to lend us his scale. We'll weigh them and then hide them.
The next day, Alibaba's wife went to Kasim's place to borrow the scales.
Good morning. Can I borrow your scales?
Kasim's wife was a very curious woman, so before handing the scale to Alibaba's wife, she placed chewing gum underneath the scale pans. She wanted to know what they were going to weigh. When Alibaba's wife returned home, she handed the scales to Alibaba and they started to weigh the gold. And then they buried them in the garden as they had agreed. The next day, they returned the scales without noticing that a golden coin was stuck to the gum underneath the pan. Both Kasim and his wife were surprised when they found the gold coin.
Good heavens! Where did my brother find these gold coins?
I have no clue. I thought they would weigh flour or something else, but they were weighing gold.
I have to find out. I'll get the truth out of him.
Since he was a greedy man, he rushed to Alibaba's house to find out where he had gotten the gold coins.
Hi, Ali. Something weird happened. I found a gold coin stuck to one of the scale pans. You are a poor woodcutter. Where did that gold coin come from?
Alibaba did not want to answer at first, but since he couldn't lie, he told his brother everything. Knowing how greedy his brother was, he warned him in advance.
Don't you dare go there. Those gold coins are not ours. The thieves could kill us if they found out.
All right. You're such a coward. That's why you are and you'll always be a poor woodcutter.
Since Kasim loved money and gold so much, he ignored his brother's warning. He got 2 donkeys and rushed to the cave Alibaba told him about.
Open, Sesame!
The door immediately opened. He was so mesmerized by all the gold before him that he started rolling on the heaps of gold.
Hooray! I am rich! I am rich! Hooray! I am rich!
He loaded the crates with gold and walked to the exit. But once there, he couldn't remember the magic words.
What am I going to do now? Was it rice? Open rice. No, wheat it must be. Open wheat. Could it be potato by any chance? Open potato. I got it this time. Open tomato. Oh no! It won't open. What was it?
Kasim tried his hardest to remember the magic word when suddenly the door opened. The thieves were back. They caught Kasim red-handed.
Who are you? What are you doing in our cave? How did you get in?
My name is Kasim. I am Alibaba's older brother. He told me about your cave and sent me to get more gold. Please forgive me. I am innocent. Go get Alibaba instead.
Despite what he said, the leader of the thieves tied Kasim with a rope.
Now, tell me where I can find this Alibaba.
Scared out of his mind, he did as he was told. The leader of the thieves didn't want anybody to know about their secret cave, so he wanted to find Alibaba to imprison him in the cave. Kasim didn't return that day, so his wife was concerned. She went to Alibaba's house and told him that Kasim hadn't come back. She was very sad. Alibaba suspected what might have happened. Right before leaving, he noticed there was a cross painted on his door.
What is this sign?
I think I know what it is. I'll be right back.
Being a clever woman, Alibaba's wife understood that the thieves had marked their house. So she came up with a plan. She She painted a cross sign on every door in the neighborhood in order to confuse the thieves. At midnight, when the thieves came to the neighborhood to get Alibaba, they saw that every single door was marked with a cross. They couldn't tell which was Alibaba's place.
All the doors are marked. We can't find Alibaba. We have to get back.
The next day, the leader of the thieves found out exactly where Alibaba lived. He hid his gang of thieves in 40 barrels and filled the 41st barrel with oil. He knocked on Alibaba's door.
Good evening. I'm an oil merchant. I come from very far. Can you let me spend the night here? In return for your kindness, I'll give you a barrel of oil.
Being the kind-hearted man Alibaba was, he wanted to help, so he let him in.
Sure, come on in. We were about to have supper. You are welcome to join us.
They sat at the table. While Alibaba and the leader of the thieves were eating, Alibaba's clever wife grew suspicious of the man. She went down to the cellar and checked the barrels.
Are you in there?
Yeah, is it time? Shall we come out?
Not yet. Wait for my instructions.
Alibaba's wife realized what was going on and rushed to the kitchen. She boiled some oil in a pot and poured it onto one of the barrels. The thief that was hidden in the barrel screamed in pain when he got burned and ran out of the house. This alerted the other thieves, who also left the house upon hearing the screams. Only the leader of the thieves remained, but he was also scared now and directly gave the order.
Get out of the barrels now! It's time!
To his surprise, he saw Alibaba's wife holding a scoop full of boiling oil standing in his way. To avoid the same fate of his gang, as he tried to escape, Alibaba and his son caught him and tied him with a rope, and they turned him into the authorities. Now it was time to save his brother Kasim. Alibaba rushed to the cave.
Open sesame!
Kasim was inexplicably happy to see his brother.
Thank goodness. I no longer care about gold or coins anymore. I was scared to death. Get me out of this place, Alibaba, please.
I told you should not covet so much of worldly goods. It may cause you a lot of trouble.
Thanks to Alibaba, the thieves never returned to that country. The gold coins were distributed equally to all the residents. Their country was blessed with abundance. Alibaba and Kasim lived happily and peacefully with their families. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived a woman who desperately wanted a child, but could not bear one. She cried every day from sadness. One day, as she cried, a fairy appeared before her.
Why are you crying? Tell me. Maybe I can help.
I have no one. I want a daughter. She would be a friend to me.
Okay, don't cry anymore. I'm going to give you a seed. Plant it and place it where it can get plenty of sunshine. Also, sing to it every day. When it grows and blooms, you will see a surprise.
The woman did everything as the fairy said. She sat by the flower pot and sang to it every day. One day, she saw a small sprout. Soon after, the sprout turned into a pink rosebud. The woman was so joyful and happy. One day, as she was smelling the rose, she kissed it. Suddenly, the rose petals slowly started to unfold. Inside was a blonde-haired, pink-cheeked little girl as small as a thumb. She was so shocked and delighted. She realized why the fairy had given her that seed. She immediately took the girl into her palms and started talking to her.
My beautiful girl, welcome to your home. I'm your mother. Your name shall be Thumbelina.
She immediately made a cradle for her out of walnut shells, a bed out of violet leaves, and a blanket out of rose petals. Thumbelina was so happy with her mother. She sang songs and danced with her. Her mother filled a cup with water and placed some walnut shells inside. Thumbelina would ride around with the leaves and shells for hours. Time passed, and Thumbelina had grown, yet she was still tiny. One night, as Thumbelina was sleeping in her bed, an ugly frog entered through a gap in the window. He stared at Thumbelina as she slept.
Oh, she's so beautiful, just the perfect girl to be my daughter-in-law.
He slowly picked her up and placed her next to the pond in the garden. His son immediately ran towards his father.
This girl who is to be my wife is so beautiful, Father. Let's keep her on this lotus flower until we prepare everything so that she doesn't escape.
In the morning, Thumbelina, who opened her eyes on the lotus flower, noticed she was in the middle of the pond, was very scared and so started crying. All the fish in the pond that heard her voice swam towards her.
Why are you crying? What's wrong?
What am I doing here? I was happily sleeping in my bed. I opened my eyes and I'm here. I want to go home to my mother.
That ugly frog and his son put you here. Apparently you're going to get married. Don't you want to?
No! Help me, please!
All the fish started gnawing at the stalk of the lotus flower rooted at the bottom of the pond. As the stalk broke, the lotus started drifting with the wind. It floated all the way to the side of the pond. But this time, a beetle living on the tree saw Thumbelina.
Oh, an interesting insect that doesn't look like us. Let me take it home so my friends can see it too.
He immediately grabbed Thumbelina and took her to his home in the tree. His friends were very surprised.
It looks just like a human. Take her away. We don't want her in our home.
The beetle thought he had upset his friends, so he took Thumbelina and left her in the forest. Thumbelina, who was incredibly hungry and thirsty, was trying to drink water from the flowers. Since she couldn't find anything to eat, she felt weak. The weather was also extremely cold, so she started shivering. Her clothes were even for summer. She walked for a long time to find some shelter. Finally, in front of a small pile of soil, a door appeared. She knocked on the door with joy. An elderly lady mouse opened the door.
I'm very cold and very hungry. Please take me into your home.
And who are you?
My name is Thumbelina. I'm gonna tell you everything that has happened. But first, can you please take me inside? I'm so cold.
Come on in, beautiful Thumbelina.
When she went in, Mrs. Mouse fed Thumbelina until she was full. And she told Mrs. Mouse everything that had happened to her one by one. As they were living together, one day, someone knocked on the door. They had a visitor.
Oh, welcome, Mr. Mole.
Thank you. And who is this beautiful girl, Miss Mouse?
Let me introduce you. This is Thumbelina. We live together now.
Very nice to meet you, sir.
Admiring the beauty of Thumbelina, Mr. Mole was now visiting Mrs. Mouse's house every day. He would bring lots of gifts and food to get Thumbelina's attention. After some time, Mr. Mole decided to speak to Thumbelina.
Thumbelina, I like you very much. I'd like to marry you and start a family. That is, if you would like to, of course.
Mr. Mole, thank you very much. You're a gentleman, but I'm not thinking about getting married.
At night, Mrs. Mouse wanted to speak to Thumbelina about this. She thought Thumbelina could be happy.
You don't want to get married, but let's just go to his house together. If you change your mind, you'll see what kind of a home he'll be living in. What do you say?
Actually, Thumbelina didn't want to marry Mr. Mole because moles live under the ground without seeing the sun. This was not appropriate for her. She was a girl of sunshine. Thumbelina didn't want to break Mrs. Mouse's heart, so she followed her and headed straight to Mr. Mole's home. But before they got there, they saw an unconscious pigeon on the way. Thumbelina ran right over to it. She wanted to know what had happened. When she carefully examined it, she realized that the pigeon's wing was injured. She rushed back home, grabbed the first aid kit, and returned to the unconscious pigeon. She dressed the wound and wrapped it tightly. The white pigeon that opened her eyes even managed to drink some water. "I'll never forget your kindness, Thumbelina. One day I will help you too." At night, Thumbelina talked to Mrs. Mouse.
Dear Mrs. Mouse, there are a few things I need to tell you. First of all, I don't want to marry Mr. Mole. He belongs to the underworld and me on Earth to the sun. Also, thank you so much for everything you've done for me. You saved my life, but I miss my mother and my home very much. I will ask the pigeon to take me home as soon as she heals.
Okay, Thumbelina, as you wish, as long as you're happy. Anyone in my place would have done the same. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
Same here, Mrs. Mouse. I will miss you very much.
A few days later, the pigeon was healed. "I'm better now, Thumbelina, and I need to go. Do you need anything?"
Yes, I would like to ask you to take me home. Can you do this for me?
With pleasure. Thumbelina bid farewell to Mrs. Mouse and climbed on the pigeon's back. They flew up in the sky. In order to not fall from the wind, Thumbelina held on tightly to the pigeon. They finally arrived at Thumbelina's house. Mrs. Pigeon dropped her off among the flowers in the garden, and she thanked her again as she soared towards the sky. Thumbelina, who was finally home after months of being away, ran to her mother and gave her a big hug. Her mother was overjoyed.
God, what a beautiful day. I'm so happy. We're finally reunited. Welcome, my beautiful girl. I've missed you very much.
I've missed you too, Mother. I'll tell you everything I've been through. Let's never be apart again, okay?
After all that had happened, Thumbelina never went far from the home. And she played with the flowers in the sunny garden. One day, she noticed a very special, sparkling, beautiful flower like the sun.
Wow, what a different flower. I don't think I've ever seen it around here.
Thumbelina jumped from flower to flower and approached that flower. And right at that moment, the petals of the sparkling flower opened up. Thumbelina, who saw a handsome tiny man just like herself, was shocked.
Oh, who are you?
I'm this garden's fairy. And you, beautiful girl, who are you?
My name is Thumbelina. My mother chose this name because I'm so tiny. This is our garden, but I've never seen you here before.
Both the Flower Fairy and Thumbelina had never come across anyone their own size. With this astonishment, they liked each other at the first glance. As time passed, they would wander around the garden, play games and spend time together. And one day...
Thumbelina, I'd like to ask you something. Will you marry me?
Thumbelina was very happy upon hearing his proposal, because finally someone who she loved to spend time with, whom she could always live with among the flowers, and if she married, could live close to her mother, had proposed to her.
Of course, my prince.
As a wedding gift, the Flower Fairy sprinkled Thumbelina with fairy dust, and all of a sudden, Thumbelina had wings. The Flower Fairy and Thumbelina lived happily ever after in her mother's garden. Once upon a time, in a very beautiful country, there lived a kind king and queen that everyone loved. Their only wish was to have a daughter. One day, their wish came true, and their daughter came into the world. They organized a feast to celebrate the event. All the kings and queens of other kingdoms, all the townspeople, and the 12 fairies of the country were invited. As part of the celebration, everyone presented their gift to the newborn princess. When it was the fairies' turn, each of them made a wish using their magical wands. There were exactly 12 fairies.
May life bring you everlasting happiness.
Let your beauty be spoken of all across the lands.
Let this princess be a very clever girl.
Let her always be generous to our people.
Suddenly, the entire hall started to shake. As everyone watched in awe, there was a high-pitched sound. The wicked fairy was the 13th fairy. They especially hadn't invited her to the party. Furious, the wicked fairy approached the crib and pushed aside the 12th good fairy that still hadn't made her wish.
So, I'm the only one that wasn't invited, I see. Well, even if I wasn't invited, I also have a wonderful gift for the princess. On her 16th birthday, the princess will prick her finger on a needle and die.
Staring at the wicked fairy, the king and queen begged the good fairy to do something.
Please, do whatever it takes to break this curse, good fairy.
Unfortunately, my queen, I cannot remove the curse that the wicked fairy has cast, but I can at least lighten it. When the princess pricks her finger with the needle, she won't die. She will sleep for 100 years. She will only be awakened with the kiss of a prince. That's all I can do.
The king immediately prohibited the use of needles and had them removed from his kingdom. He ordered his guards to watch over the princess until she grew up. The good fairy's wishes had come true. The princess turned out to be a beautiful, well-mannered young girl. In the palace, she could only wander around the garden with the fairies. Her father always watched over her. On the day of her 16th birthday, the princess was locked up in a room to stop the curse from happening. Everyone was very anxious. If nothing happened until sunset, the curse would be lifted. The princess was bored and wanted to open the window to catch some fresh air. Outside, the weather was beautiful. As she opened the window, she saw a raven with a little box in its beak. The bird placed the box on the windowsill and flew away.
It was such a beautifully decorated box that the princess couldn't resist her curiosity. She opened the box and saw a glowing diamond ring. She thought it was a birthday gift from the fairies, so she put it on her finger. But a little needle was hidden underneath the diamond. So, when the needle pricked her, the princess fell into her 100-year slumber. The bird that had brought the box to the princess was the raven of the wicked fairy. When they couldn't hear any sound from the princess's room for some time, the king became anxious and went to check on her.
My girl, you haven't said anything. Open the doors so I can see you. Be patient. There's only 2 hours left until sundown and the curse will be broken.
The king couldn't get a reply, so he unlocked the door and entered the room. To his surprise, he found his daughter lying on the floor.
My queen! Guards! Run! My princess has fallen asleep! It's a disaster! A disaster!
When they saw the ring on the princess's finger, the upset king and queen immediately realized what had happened. The wicked fairy had tricked the princess into pricking her own finger, fulfilling the curse.
Good fairy, do something, please. Either awake her or let us all sleep and awake with her. We can start our lives again when she wakes up in 100 years. How can we live without her?
To cast this spell, we have only till sunset. We have little time, but I'll do it. First, let's get the princess into a beautiful bed.
They immediately carried her to her room. They laid her in a bed covered with flowers in her most beautiful gown. The king and queen sat in their thrones. The servants waited where they stood. The birds, cats and dogs. Everyone was ready. And the good fairy cast her most powerful spell yet.
Let everyone in the palace fall asleep along with the princess and awake with her.
With a wave of her hand, everyone in the palace fell asleep. The palace was to be known as the Palace of Sleeping Beauty from then on. As years passed, the palace was covered with thorns and vines. No one could enter anymore. Many years passed. One day, as the prince was wandering around with his soldiers, he noticed the palace covered in vines.
There it is. This must be Sleeping Beauty's castle, the one my mom always told me about when I was younger. Look, it is completely covered with vines.
He took out his sword at once and started cutting down the vines. He fought his way through and made it to the door of the castle. When he entered, he was speechless by what he saw. The king and queen in their thrones and the people of the palace all sleeping in some place. They were all lying still. He started wandering through all the rooms of the palace, trying to find the princess.
I'm going to find you, beautiful princess. I'll save you. I will lift the curse.
The prince was frantic, running around trying to find the princess's room. Finally, he came across a magnificent door in the tower. He opened it slowly and found the incredibly beautiful princess asleep on a bed of flowers.
My goodness, how beautiful she is. It's as if she fell asleep yesterday. Her flowers still smell wonderful.
The prince couldn't bear to see the princess sleeping like an angel, so he gave her a kiss on the cheek. At that moment, The princess woke up. When she saw the handsome prince standing before her, she asked,
What happened? Am I still dreaming?
No, my princess, you aren't dreaming any longer. The curse has been broken. Please, give me your hand. Let me help you get up from this bed.
The princess gave her hand to the prince and got up. When the curse was broken, everyone woke up from their sleep. The king, queen, servants, cats, dogs, and flowers in the garden all came to life again. There was nothing left of the vines and thorns. The king and queen ran to their daughter's room in excitement.
Good heavens, what a beautiful day! I'm so happy. My daughter and the whole palace have awoken from their sleep.
They hugged joyfully. The prince promptly kneeled before the king.
My king, I would like to marry your daughter. With your permission, may I ask for her hand in marriage?
My dear prince, we are so very happy. I would be honored if you were my groom.
My dear princess, I've waited for this moment my whole life. Will you marry me?
Yes! You are the prince I have seen in my dreams.
They invited all the fairies and got married with a magnificent wedding. They lived happily ever after. And what happened to the wicked fairy? After she found out what was going to happen to her, she escaped to a faraway land. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived the Darling family. Their oldest child was Wendy, and their sons were John and Michael. One night, their parents went out for a stroll in town. The children, who were home alone, had a great time playing games together. When they got tired and sleepy, their sister started telling them the story about Peter Pan.
Once upon a time, in far, faraway secret lands, there lived a child called Peter Pan.
They all fell asleep. Later on, Wendy woke up to a sound coming from the window. And what did she see? There was a child and a flying fairy in front of her. They were sitting on the windowsill, laughing at her.
Good evening! My name is Peter Pan. I'm the hero of the story you told your brothers. Even though you missed a few details, it was still a wonderful story.
And my name is Tinkerbell, but you can also call me Rattle. You can use whichever one you prefer. As you can see, I'm a little fairy girl.
Wow! So you're real! I'm very pleased to meet you.
Of course we're real, but we live in the secret country.
We're very close friends with Peter Pan. We've known each other for a long time. I have an idea. Peter Pan, let's take the children and go back to our country. What do you say?
Oh, what an adventure it would be! I love adventures. But you can fly, and us? Well, we don't have wings, and we can't fly.
Don't worry about that. Once I sprinkle some fairy dust on you, you'll be able to fly just like us. Wendy, who wanted to go on this adventure, woke her brothers up right away. John and Michael, who saw Peter Pan before them, were incredibly surprised.
Yes, I was also shocked when I saw them, kids. But Peter Pan and Tinkerbell from the story are real, and they are inviting us to their secret country.
What? A secret country? Where is it hidden? How can we get there? We have to go.
Let's go, sis. Please, please.
Come on, let's go.
Wendy accepted joyfully.
The minute Tinkerbell sprinkled fairy dust on the kids, they started hovering in the air. Shocked, all together they started flying out the window.
Woohoo! Cool!
Look, John, we're flying!
Come on, we have a long way to go. After a long journey, they arrived at the secret country. In this country lived wild animals, Indians, fairies, and lost children. But also very dangerous pirates. The head of the pirates was Captain Hook. Captain Hook was Peter Pan's greatest enemy. The reason for this animosity was because of something that happened in the past. One day, Captain Hook had captured the princess of the Indians.
Huh?
In order to save this princess, Peter Pan fought Captain Hook. He cut one of his hands with a sword, and his hand fell into the sea. A crocodile ate it along with his wristwatch. Now the crocodile swam around making a tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock sound. So the crocodile was called Tick-Tock. To replace his missing hand, they replaced it with a hook, and that's how he became known as Captain Hook. Peter Pan and the children went to Peter Pan's house without being seen by Captain Hook. The captain always spied on everyone in the secret country, using his telescope, so they were careful and hid on the way. There were exactly 3 lost children in Peter Pan's home. They were also children that had been captured by Captain Hook and saved by Peter Pan. Right away they surrounded Wendy.
Welcome! So does this mean that we're going to eat delicious food every day?
Do I have to do all the cooking just because I'm a girl?
But we...
Never mind. You're lucky I like cooking. Of course I'll do it. And I'll also tell you stories at night before you go to sleep.
Hooray!
Yippee! The children hugged Wendy happily. Wendy acted like their mother. She cooked delicious food, baked cakes, and told them stories before bedtime. They became really good friends with Peter Pan. They walked together in the forest and got to know each other better. But Tinkerbell was not so happy about this new friendship. She thought that Peter Pan had forgotten her and that he was neglecting her, so she was starting to get sick of Wendy.
Wendy must go back home. Peter Pan is my friend. I'm the one that found him in the Lost Forest and brought him to our secret country. Now he spends time with Wendy instead of me. I need to find a solution to this.
However, Wendy had no idea about this. Her only thought was to help everyone in the secret country. One day, while Peter Pan and Wendy were chatting, sitting on a rock in the secret country, Captain Hook was spying on them with his telescope.
Right there, it's Peter Pan! Quick!
Everyone ran around the ship, firing, trying to shoot Peter Pan.
You idiots! Ah! Not me! You need to shoot Peter Pan!
Tinkerbell, take Wendy somewhere safe. I'm going to the pirate ship. This time it'll be your end, Mr. Hook.
Come on, Wendy, quick! Tinkerbell immediately made a plan and left Wendy on top of a cloud. She then went straight down next to the children. Hey kids, Peter Pan said there was a large bird on top of the clouds and that we should shoot it. At once, the children took their bows and shot their arrows towards the clouds. Meanwhile, Peter Pan was dealing with Captain Hook on the deck of the ship.
You want a hook on your other arm, Captain? If you have the courage, we should sword fight. I'm waiting for you on the beach. You'll come if you're not scared.
Peter Pan flew off to the beach and the ship approached the shore. Finally, these two enemies started to sword fight. A little while later, Captain Hook heard a familiar sound from behind him. Tick-tock, tick-tock. The minute he heard the sound, he turned around in panic and saw Tick-tock coming towards him. Throwing his sword into the air, he ran as fast as he could onto the ship.
Mummy! Mummy! Ha 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 ha! Ha 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 ha!
Peter Pan laughed loudly at Captain Hook. All of a sudden, he thought of Wendy. He went straight to Wendy to see how she was doing. And to his terrifying surprise, he found Wendy lying on the floor with an arrow in her chest. Peter Pan was very upset and also completely terrified. He thought that it was his fault of what had happened to Wendy.
Tinkerbell, kids, what's happened here?
Tinkerbell told us to shoot the bird in the clouds. She said that you had asked us to. So we shot at the clouds. But it wasn't the bird, it was Wendy.
All the kids were very sad and were crying.
Tinkerbell, you lied to us.
Peter Pan bent over and took the arrow out of her chest.
But there's no blood on this arrow.
The arrow had hit the button of Wendy's vest and hadn't pierced her chest. Peter Pan suddenly realized that she had only fainted from the shock of the impact and had fallen to the ground.
Wendy! Wendy! Come on, wake up!
Wendy, who had opened her eyes and stood up, made everyone happy. All of them hugged her with joy. They all returned home together. Tinkerbell was watching everything that was going on from the top of the fairy tree. She was so ashamed at what she had done. She went to Peter Pan's house and apologized from everyone.
I'm so sorry. I apologize from all of you, especially from you, Wendy. Will you be able to forgive me? I did it because I got jealous of your friendship. I'm so ashamed.
I owe you my life, Tinker. No one can ever take your place. We'll always be together, but what you have done is very wrong. Tonight, I want you to go to the fairy tree and think about what you've done.
Wendy forgave Tinkerbell, but since Peter Pan had told her to leave, Tinkerbell returned to the fairy tree.
Everyone is really tired today. Come on, kids, time to sleep. But first, time for a story.
Wendy told the children the story about 3 children who went to a secret country. She was telling them the story about themselves. Her brothers wanted to go back home. They really missed their mother and father. Wendy called out to the lost children.
We're going to go back home. Would you like to come with us too?
Come with you? To your real home? Hooray!
I can't believe it. We're going to have a real home.
Peter, why don't you come with us too? You can live with us if you like.
No way! One day you're all going to grow up and get old. But me, I want to stay as a child forever.
The next day, Tinkerbell sprinkled fairy dust on everyone. Just as Wendy and the children started to fly, Captain Hook, who had been spying on them with his telescope, managed to capture them. Watching everything that was going on, Tinkerbell immediately went to Peter Pan and told him what had happened.
Peter Pan, hurry! Everyone's been captured. Save them!
What? Our friends have been captured? Enough of this, Captain. Your end has come. This time, I'm going to make you crock food.
At once, he flew onto the ship. Seeing Peter Pan, the children yelled joyfully.
It's Peter Pan! Hooray!
We're saved!
The captain immediately attacked Peter Pan with a sword. They both started sword fighting again. They fought for a long time, and suddenly Peter Pan heard tick-tock's sound again. Not wanting to miss this opportunity, with all his strength, he struck the captain and pushed him into the sea. Seeing that Captain Hook had fallen into the sea, Tick-Tock quickly swam towards him. All of Hook's men, who realized that they had lost, also jumped into the sea.
Mummy! Mummy! You treacherous captain, run away! You now know what it means to capture my friends.
Now everyone in the secret country was free from the pirates. Now they also had a ship. Peter Pan immediately untied and freed the children. They celebrated this victory by touring around with the ship. Peter Pan was now captain.
Yes, it's time to go home now.
I will make sure you all get home safely.
Hooray!
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 Hooray! Thank you so much for everything, Peter Pan. I will never forget you.
I won't forget you either, Wendy. Please understand me. I can't live there.
Peter Pan was actually very sad that he was going to part from Wendy and the children. It was good that Tinker Bell was always going to be with him.
Can we come visit you, Wendy?
Of course, whenever you want, Tinker.
They parted hugging one another. For the last time, they all flew home, and their family greeted them happily.
Wendy, John, Michael, we've missed you. Where have you been? Who are these 3 children?
They are the lost children, Mother. We've just come back from the secret country together.
Secret country? Wendy told her family everything that had happened to them. Her mother and father were shocked but incredibly happy to be reunited with their children again. As Wendy looked out of the window, Peter Pan and Tinker Bell were already long gone. They had disappeared. Wendy was still waving.
Peter Pan, until we meet with you again.